Howdy Alpha, welcome back for workout on Tuesday, December 15th. Let's get right down to it. Today, for our warm-up, we're going to start with hip mobility. This is up to you individually. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that those hips are loose, ready to go before you get into 3 rounds of the warm-up. For that, we're going to hit 3 rounds, 10 good mornings. Again, we're prepping that pattern for that RDL you're going to see during the strength piece. Load it if you like. Just make sure that you're getting those hips and hammies ready to go for later in the day. 5 ballistic rows on each arm. Think of those gorilla rows that we've done, passing that dumbbell back and forth. You're going to get a demonstration in 1 second, and then a 45-second plank. Prepping us again for some positions you'll see down in the conditioning. But make sure you're just going through those 3. As always, we increase intensity as we go through each round, but use this as a prep to get you ready for the work that's coming. For our strength, we've got 2 movements today. We've got a bent over row, ideally with 2 dumbbells, and then a dumbbell RDL or a dumbbell straight leg deadlift. As we've talked about, and you'll hear me reference a lot over the next couple weeks, whatever you have equipment-wise, weight-wise, adjust what you're seeing here to make it as challenging as possible for yourself. The goal is that you have 2 dumbbells. You're going to execute a bent over row, 1 max rep set. All right. The structure, hold on, I'm ahead of myself. Let me back up. The way this is going to work is you are going to perform a max rep set every 2 minutes for a total of 4 rounds of the movement. Okay. So you're going to set a clock for 14 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go. You're going to pick up, ideally, your 2 dumbbells. You're going to execute a max rep set of bent over row. Most likely going to be in the teens, but go for it. Set the dumbbells down. You will now rest until that clock gets to 2 minutes. At the 2-minute mark, you'll pick those dumbbells up, but now you will execute dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. Right? Once you finish that max rep set them down. At the 4-minute mark, back to bent over row. And you will keep that up through the 14 minutes. All right, so you'll get 4 rounds of bent over rows, 4 rounds of dumbbell RDL. Cool? Remember, if your weight's too light, add a tempo. If you only have 1 dumbbell, use 1 dumbbell, but you get the point. Okay? Conditioning. We're going to do a Tabata workout today. Remember a Tabata interval. It's 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest, performed 8 times. We are going to do that for 4 separate movements, right? So the first movement's going to be step-ups. Whatever you guys have handy to be able to step up onto. It can be unweighted or it can be weighted. I would load it in the goblet position, but depending on what you have, you can load the step-ups. Renegade rows. Plank position. Ideally, you've got dumbbells, perform your rows. If you don't have dumbbells, you can perform shoulder taps. This will all come in the demo here in 1 second. Sit-ups or sit-ups, we got that. Mountain climbers or mountain climbers. Keep in mind, you are going to execute 8 intervals of the step-ups before you move to the next movement. So you're going to have 8 rounds here, rest for 1 minute, 8 rounds ring rows, rest 1 minute, so on and so forth. Your score will be total reps for each movement, and then the score for the conditioning as a whole is the total reps total. So add up your step-ups, your rows, your sit-ups, your climbs. Cool. All right, we're going to finish, or I'm going to follow up here with some demonstration. Other than that, keep up the good work, guys. I saw that we had some people connecting on Zoom on their own. I love it. Make sure that you find yourself an accountability partner or partners and stay on track over these next couple weeks. Cool? Cool. Ready? Commence mind-blowing demonstrations. For our warm-up, first thing we've got is our good morning. Remember, we're using this to prime the pattern for the RDL. Get our hammies, everything ready to go. It does not matter. Feet are going to be set underneath. Push your hips back. Find that end range of motion where your back's still flat. You can add a weight with this with a kettlebell or a dumbbell on your back. I don't know if you have a band, you can do a banded. Again, we're just kind of getting that pattern warmed up. We're then going to go into 5 ballistic rows on each arm. So you're going to find yourself in that same position that we'll be in a lot of today. You're going to pull and pass it to the hand, the opposite hand. So row, 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 5 right, 5 left. After that, a 45-second plank. We should be good there, guys. Just make sure that we're keeping that back nice and flat, trunk tight, and we're active, all right? We're not hanging out. We're not sticking our bum up. Okay, squeeze your bum in line with your hips, all right? So that's the warm-up. From there, we're getting into 2 movements. Max rep, dumbbell, bent over row, ideally with 2 dumbbells. Hinge, get that back as close to parallel to the floor as possible, and row from there, okay? Exactly as it sounds, it's a max rep, so go for it. If your weights are light, add a tempo. You should be in the teens, right? If you're doing 30 reps, that weight's too light, you've got to find another way to challenge yourself with the tempo. But that's what we should be shooting for in terms of a roundabout number. For the dumbbell RDL, same action, guys. You're just going to hold the dumbbells at the side, hinge back, find that in range of motion, stand tall. Okay, remember, every 2 minutes, max rep set, alternate the movements. Finally, for conditioning, Tabata, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 intervals for 4 movements. First movement's a step up. Be creative. If you don't have a box at home, find a wall, find a chair, find something, steps that you can step up onto. Again, you can load it if you want. I would take a dumbbell and probably load it here. If that's not heavy enough, put those same dumbbells at the side. Does not matter. Renegade rows, no push-up or anything. This is going to be holding that plank position, right? Pulling the dumbbell into your armpit. If you don't have a reasonable number in terms of dumbbells, you can do shoulder taps. Plank position, touch, 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 okay? Keep that trunk tight, keep your hips facing the floor. The next move is sit-ups. We should all be good there. And then finally, those mountain climbers. Remember, when we talk mountain climbers, it is as if you're running in place. Your mountain climbers should look like this. Driving that knee towards the elbow. As if you're running in place, not that stupid thing. Don't do that. Even if I'm not with you, I'm going to feel it in the ether, and it's going to frustrate me. Please don't do that. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Any questions? Throw them in the feed. We're good to go. Cool. Ready?